Since the implementation of Doi Moi, or free market economy, in the late 1980s, Vietnam has achieved entry into ASEAN, signed the bilateral trade agreement with the U.S., and is on the verge of WTO accession. The country now boasts Asia's second fastest growing economy. In many ways, Vietnam's economic miracle can be paralleled only to China's rise in prominence. And that parallel is nowhere more obvious than when comparing the two countries' historic economic capitals, Shanghai and Ho Chi Minh City.
When I talk to potential investors about why they should come to Vietnam, I tell them what I already know. Vietnam's an easier place to do business than China and an easier place to make money. Ho Chi Minh City is the economic hub and the economic engine behind Vietnam.
Dynamic and ambitious, Ho Chi Minh City is the safest and fastest growing city in Southeast Asia. With a per capita income around 3 times the national average, the city achieved an unprecedented 12.2% growth throughout 2005. This figure is poised to increase over the next few months of 2006. The city itself was responsible for a third of Vietnam's GNP in 2005, truly placing it amongst Asian capitals such as Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, and Singapore.
The high growth of the economy, Ho Chi Minh City is the economic hub of this country, and the location of the Ho Chi Minh City is the center of the Southeast Asia. Within the 2 hours, we can fly to Bangkok, Singapore, or some major capital of the Southeast Asia countries. And of course, southern China and Hong Kong is also near from here.
Ho Chi Minh City is a very cosmopolitan place. Virtually everybody here has a relative abroad, and that has produced a constant stream of capital, talent, and ideas, which have made this a very dynamic and entrepreneurial city.
With increased sophistication of the locals, who are now more widely traveled, the locals are now demanding for better quality developments and better managed developments. Keppel is currently exploring with the Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee on the possibilities of developing townships and large-scale residential developments.
The number of licenses granted to foreign invested projects in Ho Chi Minh City has skyrocketed this year, with a total capital of $720 million from 80 foreign invested projects in the first 4 months of this year. This represents a growth 6 times the amount of FDI for the same period of 2005, representing a phenomenal 31% of the country's total FDI thus far in 2006. The city now has over 2,490 foreign representative offices and over 1,980 valid FDI projects.
The local government in Ho Chi Minh City has been extremely supportive of the business community here. They maintain a pretty much constant dialogue with the business community that allows us to raise our suggestions for how to make the business climate more competitive with other countries in the region. They've been extremely receptive to these ideas, and we see constantly that ideas that are suggested by the business community are implemented in pretty short order.
I think the Vietnamese government pays more and more attention to the private sector. I think the best platform they use is the Vietnam Business Forum, which they co-organize with the IFC and the World Bank. The last one was in Ho Chi Minh City on the 1st of June. It was a very, very interesting one, and I felt, being a participant myself, that the dialogue between the private sector and the government through this forum, which is also working by business groups and industry sectors, is better and better every year.
With almost 80% of the country's foreign service companies and the ongoing equitization process of many of Vietnam's state-owned service industries, the Ho Chi Minh City services sector will continue to grow even stronger. In 2000, the largest banking and financial hub in the country also became the birthplace of Vietnam's fledgling stock exchange, with 2005 growth exceeding 28% and 2006 growth having already exceeded 100% of last year's figures in the first quarter alone. The future of growth of Ho Chi Minh City's stock exchange could well be unparalleled in Asia.
One thing that foreign investors look for is physical infrastructure, as well as good investment and legal regulations, and that's something which has come a huge way in Vietnam in recent years. So if you're typically an investor, you want to know that you've got a road to your factory, you want a reliable electricity supply, you want all of the things that comes with running a modern factory in today's world. And around Ho Chi Minh City there's some industrial parks, high-tech zones, export processing zones, which are very well geared towards foreign investors coming in, setting up factories and operating them with a minimal of fuss and trouble.
Ho Chi Minh City's vast surrounding available land provides the perfect environment for country's thriving import-export processing zones. As of first quarter 2006, the various export processing zones and industrial parks have attracted more than 25% of all investment projects in the country, representing well over $600 million US. Among this, the Tan Thuan Exporting Processing Zone ranks as one of the best in Asia. These industrial zones are supported by the biggest port system of the country. Ho Chi Minh City's ports have a freight capacity of over 24 million tons per year. A new port is going to be built in the southern city, providing deep sea access for more vessels and greater capacity in the future.
Trends around Ho Chi Minh City in the last few years has been manufacturers moving further up the value chain. So whereas previously investors were maybe assembling components from that were manufactured elsewhere in Asia, nowadays they're making the components in Asia, and it's that escalation of value which is having a huge impact around Ho Chi Minh City and in the neighbouring provinces like Dong Nai and Binh Duong.
As for the Japanese company has invested many kinds of industry. For example, furniture, textile, food, car, motorbike, and so on. This trend will continue in the future, but I think as the economy is developing, more high-tech industry, not labor-intensive one, will be invested to this country.
With the recent $310 million US infrastructure developed from Intel and the increased capital investment from Japan's Nidec Tissot, Ho Chi Minh City is truly becoming the future mega hub for information technology for Vietnam, offering the most advanced communication system of the country. With a third of the entire country's education institutes and half of inhabitants under the age of 25, the city is easily Vietnam's spot of intellectual enlightenment. The city is also the largest healthcare center in Indochina, with many well-equipped hospitals and well-trained doctors offering international standard healthcare. With the phenomenal growth of the tourism sector, the city represents close to a third of the country's entire tourism turnover and expects to receive 2.2 million international tourists and 3.5 million domestic tourists in 2006 alone.
Our clients who have located businesses here in Ho Chi Minh City, I think one of the constant positive feedbacks we get from them is that they enjoy working in Ho Chi Minh City. They find people here very friendly, very open, very willing to learn. They enjoy the food, the environment, the history and flavor of the city. It's a pleasant place to work and live, and I think that's one of Ho Chi Minh City's real advantages.
With the pro-investment policies introduced by the Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee, and with a large population base and a very highly educated workforce, we believe foreign investors will continue to select Ho Chi Minh City as their preferred destination.
The platform for risk in Vietnam, and especially Ho Chi Minh City, is safer today than it has ever been and will only become more safe in the future. As the platform becomes safer, more and more investment will come and competition will stiffen. This is why I say now is the time to invest in Ho Chi Minh City and Vietnam in general.
We are encouraging the development of high-tech industries like information systems, computers, mechanical industry, electrical industry, production of new material industry, programming industry, and the biological and microorganism industry. These are the technologies where we are in need of investment.
Ho Chi Minh City has an abundance of opportunities. However, these developments only scratch the surface of the city's ambitions. With a vision expanding through to 2020, Ho Chi Minh City will become one of Asia's major industrial hubs and continue to be the driving economic engine behind Vietnam. In the next 5 years, the local authorities are aiming to attract $5 billion per year investment capital. By providing easy and quick licensing procedures, tax incentives, and transparency, the city continues to develop and improve its overall investment climate. Ho Chi Minh City today truly represents a unique and exciting investor destination.